New at 6, gun stores are fighting back after a lawsuit accusing them of helping Mexican cartels acquire weapons.
We first told you about the lawsuit last night accusing 5 stores in Arizona of selling guns that were for criminals across the border.
One of those in Phoenix.
In this case, it was very important to highlight those that repeatedly and systematically facilitate the illicit trafficking of firearms into Mexico.
The lawsuit alleges that the stores supply significant numbers of guns to the criminal market in Mexico, and that the stores know that they engage in multiple sales, repeat sales, and straw sales. Court documents claim cartels essentially go shopping for their weapons of war at these stores.
These companies should know their guns are in the hands of criminals in Mexico, breaking havoc in our country.
It's a political move, so I think what he's looking for a win, and I think by going after small mom and pop gun stores like myself, I think he thinks we're just going to lay down. Look, if we were doing something illegal, we wouldn't be talking right now. This store would be shut down. I want to bite back. We're going to sue the government back for defamation and all the U.S.-based attorneys that are involved.
With all respect to our counterparts, we'll see you in court.
Mexico is suing U.S. gun manufacturers for the gun violence in Mexico. But why aren't they suing the Obama administration at the same time? Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel-like content, what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. Once again, PSA for my Connecticut residents. If you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please get the training done before July 2024. Because then after that, it becomes longer, harder, more expensive, just to disincentivize you from going out to get your permit to get a firearm. If you have your permit, watch the expiration date. Don't let it expire. There's a link to the online renewal process right in the description box. Don't let that expire. Let's talk about this. Now, back in August of 2021, Mexico filed suit against, I believe, 6 gun manufacturers and 1 distributor in the United States, claiming that they are responsible for the gun violence in Mexico. Not the cartels, not the wicked people, not the law, the criminals. No. It's the gun manufacturers and the distributor here in the United States. Now, in October of 2022, that lawsuit was thrown out by a lower court, claiming that it had no merit and that the PLCAA, the Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act, does not give the suit validity. But very recently, First Circuit Court of Appeals in Boston has revived that lawsuit. And the claims are going to make you chuckle a little bit if it wasn't so damn serious. What is infuriating is the fact that Mexico is now claiming that these gun manufacturers are aiding and abetting the illegal trafficking of firearms into their country. They are blaming the gun manufacturer, claiming that they are responsible. They are the catalyst for why these guns are getting into Mexico. If that isn't defamation, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but you're claiming that gun manufacturers are committing a crime. And I'm going to call bullshit right off the jump. None of these gun manufacturers are saying, yeah, let's go ahead and make guns specifically be transferred into Mexico. But that's the argument they're going to make, because just like all these other lawsuits that blame the gun manufacturer, not the person who pulled the trigger, they're hoping for a quick settlement. And that's exactly what they're after here. But it hurts the gun industry. And that's ultimately what they're talking about. Because I'm going to bring you back to a little incident from a previous administration when they were allowing firearms to be shipped illegally into the country, and Mexico had nothing to say about it, which is really a shocker. But let's come into here. U.S. Appeals Court revised Mexico's $10 billion lawsuit against gun makers. And this, of course, the First Circuit in Boston. A U.S. Appeals Court on Monday revived the $10 billion lawsuit by Mexico seeking to hold gun manufacturers responsible for facilitating the trafficking of weapons to drug cartels across the U.S.-Mexico border. I'm sorry, it sounds like defamation. They're saying that these gun manufacturers are breaking the law. The Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals overturned a lower court judge's decision, the one from October of 2022, dismissing the case on the grounds that a U.S. law barred Mexico from suing Smith & Wesson brands, Sturm Ruger and Company and others. That law, the Federal Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act, provides the firearms industry broad protection from lawsuits over their products' misuse. Now here comes the real grift here. Mexico's lawyers argued the law only bars lawsuits over injuries that occurred in the U.S. and does not shield the 7 manufacturers and 1 distributor, so there's a correction, it sued from liability over the trafficking of guns to Mexican criminals. U.S. Circuit Judge William Cayeta, writing for the 3-judge panel, said that while the law can be applied to lawsuits by foreign governments, Mexico's lawsuit plausibly alleges a type of claim that is statutorily exempt from PLCAA's general prohibition. So this court is saying that these gun manufacturers are liable or are facilitating and abetting the trafficking of illegal firearms into Mexico. That's what they're telling him. He said that was because the law was only designed to protect lawful firearms-related commerce, yet Mexico has accused the companies of aiding and abetting illegal gun sales by facilitating the trafficking of firearms into the country. Can you believe that? That is such a reach. It's not even funny. But Mexico Foreign Minister Alicia Barcina called the ruling great news in a post on social media platform X. The country's U.S. lawyer Steve Shadowin called it an important step forward in holding the gun industry accountable. Here's another grifter who's going to get his 40%. Quote, it should now be clear that those who contribute to gun violence must face legal consequences regardless of borders, Shadowin said in a statement. Representatives for the gun makers did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Now, Mexico says over 500,000 guns are trafficked annually from the U.S. into Mexico, of which more than 68% were made by companies it sued, which also include Beretta USA, Barrett Firearms Manufacturing, Colt Manufacturing, and Glock Incorporated. In its August 2021 complaint, Mexico estimated that 2.2% of the nearly 40 million guns made annually in the U.S. are smuggled into Mexico, including as many as 597,000 guns made by the defendants. So let's understand this. So you're saying that Smith & Wesson, Colt, Barrett, Sturm Ruger, their employees are making the guns and sneaking them across the border under the knowledge of these companies? But Mexico said the smuggling has been a key factor in its ranking 3rd worldwide in the number of gun-related deaths. Not the cartels, not the police being hamstrung and not being able to control the cartels and the criminal activity that goes on in the country. No. It's gun manufacturers here in the U.S. It also claimed to suffer many other harms, including declining investment in economic activity and a need to spend more on law enforcement and public safeties. The companies deny wrongdoing. Their lawyers say Mexico lawsuit is devoid of allegations the gun manufacturer gun sales themselves did anything that would create an exception to the PLCAA's broad protection. And there it is. They can't prove. They're making wild accusations that the gun manufacturers are aiding and abetting trafficking of firearms. They can't prove that. But once again, it's not about that. Let's come out of here. As I said in the beginning, isn't it interesting that Mexico is holding gun manufacturers accountable for gun violence in their country while we had an administration that was knowingly straw purchasing guns and allowing them to end up in Mexico in the cartel's hands. But they're not suing that administration for their behavior. No, it's the gun manufacturer's fault because they're supposedly aiding and abetting. Once again, as this goes through the court system, they're probably looking for a quick payday. That's basically what it comes down to. But it's going, once again, even a quick payday is going to hurt the gun industry. And this is just Mexico getting involved in the anti-gun tirade that's going on in this country here. They're just becoming a part of it because they're so full of crap. I'm sorry. Absolutely full of shit. By saying that the gun manufacturers are literally, they're saying that they're aiding and abetting the trafficking of illegal firearms. They're doing it. This is disgraceful and shame on Mexico. You know, you can't control what's going on in your own country, so you got to blame someone else for it. That's absolutely unbelievable. But there you go. This is what happens when you have judges who don't make rulings based on the law. They make rulings based on their biases. This is a 3-panel judge in Boston. Who do you think they are? A bunch of liberal woke judges. So this is what you end up with. So Unfortunately, this thing is going to have to keep moving through the courts, and we're going to see what happens next. But this could open up, once again, it could open up a floodgate. Then you can have other countries saying, yeah, it's because of these gun manufacturers in the U.S. that we have, it's a murder issue going on in our country. Craziness, absolute craziness. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.